Hello and welcome to the Betty Essentials for Page Builder Wireframing. When starting off with application development, you have ideas. And according to the roadmap, the first thing that we're going to do is sketch our application. And this application sketch is called a wireframe. But what is a wireframe? Well, a wireframe is basically drawing out your application in simplistic form without building any functionality behind it. It's creating a blueprint for all the structures in the pages of your application. The elements of a wireframe can be the structure, the layout, content, and the functionality. And why would we do that? Well, the reason is wireframing is something that you need to do to get a better understanding of the requirements, components, pages, and data that you want to show in your application. This so that you can have a better choice within your team for what you want to use, reduce the effort, and next to this, have something visual to show your clients. And this can help better understanding the end purpose of what their product will look like. Wireframing can be done virtually or with a pen and paper. Our preference goes out to wireframing directly in your BettyBlocks application, so that all the components and pages can be reused and seen by the development team. The first thing that you need to do is research, making sure that you understand the needs and wishes of your application. Next, you create a list of the most important pages that need wireframing. You can also draw out the user flow so that it's clear how the pages will link up eventually. So follow the steps a user will go when he or she is in your application and see what pages are the most important to your app. After that, determine what content, functionalities, and/or elements you want to show on the different pages. The third step is coming up with the ideal layout for your page. For example, on top, I want to have a navigation bar, then a header, 3 blocks to report some data, and maybe a footer. Creating the layout is the first step in actual wireframing. And for this, we're going to need a wireframing tool. And we're going to use the BettyBlocks page builder to do that. The BettyBlocks page builder is a drag and drop interface that uses reusable blocks to create your pages. You don't need any HTML knowledge, and it's basically a WYSIWYG editor. This means what you see is what you get. So to work with the components, you need to drag and drop them onto your canvas. Select a component from the component overview and drag it onto your page. Release it when a blue line appears and you have the first element on your page. Let's go over some of the items that you can find within your page builder. Tab and design overview. The first thing when you open up the page builder page that you see is your building blocks overview. Your building blocks tab shows you the search bar for all the components that you have in your application and a component overview. The second tab shows you page variables. The third tab shows you your page settings, and the fourth tab shows you your component tree. Let's go into what these tabs exactly can do. The data tab. The data tab allows you to create variables for your page. These variables can be used for checks or recurring elements. An example would be you could create an ID variable, and this ID variable can be used for data checks within your page builder. The third tab is the settings overview. The settings overview shows you your page details, which include your page name and the path that you can find your page on, your page description, so that other developers know what you want to do and what your goal is with this page, a component set URL. If you want to use some custom components, some custom blocks that you've created with code, you can use the component set URL to connect to this component set. An authentication profile, which can be used if you want users with a specific login to be allowed to view this page, but anyone else is not allowed to, and a page type. You can set this page as your homepage, for example, or a 404 page if you cannot find the page. The other part of your settings overview is at the bottom, and that is your delete endpoint, save page changes option, and the page view change. Everything within the page builder is saved immediately apart from the settings overview, because If you make any changes within your settings, such as your page name or your path, this needs to be pushed to the server on purpose. So don't forget to press the save button the moment you change anything in your page settings. The change page view option allows you to view your page via a different device. So, such as if you want to look at it via a mobile perspective or a tablet perspective, press any of the page view buttons to see how it would look like from that perspective. The fourth tab is the object tree overview. The object tree overview allows you to view all the components you have within your page. This includes you being able to simply navigate between your components, and it's shown in a parent-child component kind of way. This means that when you have a row on your page, you can put all kinds of other components within that row. So the row will be your parent component, and within this row, you can put a column. That column will be the row's child component. Within this column, you can put a card component, which means that the column component would be the parent component of the card component. And so we have a parent-child view of all the components within your page. The moment you click on an item within your object tree, you get into the components settings. And there are a lot of component settings because there are a lot of different components. But let's go over the regular settings that we have. You have style settings. These allow you to change the shape or size or color of a component. You have some event settings. This means that whenever you click or press something within the component, something else needs to happen. So these are the event settings. There are data settings, which allows you to control what kind of data it needs to show, if it needs to be filtered data, or if it needs to be data in some sort of order. And of course, this varies enormously per component. So when you're building, try out a lot of different components and see what kind of options they have to offer. The components need a place, of course, and this is the right side of your page builder, your canvas. Your canvas is what your application's front end will look like. The moment you drag a component onto your canvas, it is saved on change. And your canvas is responsive. This means that whenever you change the sizing of your monitor or of your viewpoint, that means if you're looking at it from a mobile phone perspective, if you're looking at it from a tablet perspective, it will respond to the size of the screen. And the reason this happens is because of something we call a grid design. Your page builder is made out of something called columns and grids. The columns and grids are built up in a horizontal and vertical spacing, and you can create areas all over the grid that align with each other. And these areas can be subdivided. So one entire screen is always 12 blocks wide. This is one row. And one of these blocks is called a column. So you can decide if you want a column to be 12 wide, if you want it to be 6 wide, or if you want it to be 1 wide. However, the total width of your row will always be 12. So make sure that when you're aligning your page, when you're creating a layout, that everything in the end will be the full width of a screen. If you want some empty spacing on the right-hand side of your page, place down an empty column with, let's say, 5 grids as space. This means that you will have 5 grids that are empty. This can be used for a responsive design so that you can have something that would be normally 12 wide on your phone, only be 6 wide on a laptop view. This to create a nice and easy looking application that can be viewable via multiple devices. Once everything's set into place and looks nice via your perspective, a mobile perspective, or anyone's perspective, you can use the theme builder to style your application. The theme builder allows you to set one generic style for all the pages that you're using. You might have seen that some of your components use the primary color or use a secondary color. And we've automatically set a color for this, but we don't want to bind you to that color. So in the theme builder, you can change this and set it to a color pattern that you're using for your ID or according to your company's color pattern, for example. You can also change items such as sizing or typography that you can use within your application. This to get the best look and feel for your application. And all of these items that I've just talked about can be used for wireframing in the page builder. Use the components, component options, and styling to create a wireframe of your application. Drag and drop some components together and see if it fits the ID of the pages you want to use for your use case. Try multiple building blocks. Try to see if one style or another style fits your ideas the best, and see how far you can get with wireframing in the page builder. So, as a recap of the theory, a wireframe gives you the first impression of your application. The page builder is a quick editor that you can use for building pages. Use the components and the style options for customizing the pages to your liking. And use all of these together to create the first setup for your application and a nice wireframe to give yourself an idea of what your website or application will look like.